I'm standing here in Fairhaven State Park. Behind me, Little Sodus Bay, and to my left is Lake Ontario. But right in front of me is one of the many girls that won't be used anytime soon, especially if the water continues to rise, which according to the forecast, the only thing we can expect to see is more rain. But as for the campaign today, it does not end here. It is just the beginning of a strive towards better togetherness and more community in SUNY Oswego. Christopher is also in charge of the Mentor Scholar program here at Oswego High School that helps students after school with their homework. And he says that students even at the high school level will benefit from this scholarship. If you think it's too late to get in shape for the summer, you're wrong, but you might want to start soon.
Say you have a vacation that you're going to take in July or August, you probably should starting now.
Whether you want to lose, gain, or sustain weight or muscle, Dr. Amy Bidwell from the Department of Health and Wellness says you need a proper diet and exercise to do so. Sandbags and road closed signs have covered the village of Fairhaven. The town is taking extra precautions in response to the rising water levels in Lake Ontario. The mayor has issued an emergency order closing the village's boat launches and West Bay Park for safety purposes till further notice. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. In room 133 of the Moreno Campus Center, the words we stand for individually are being captured in time. In here, SUNY Oswego Student Association is holding the 1,000-word campaign promoting positivity and hope on campus. When it comes to nutrition, the answer is never crash dieting.
If you do some crash diet and you lose weight pretty quickly, there's a good chance you're going to put that back on.
It's eating the right amount of the right foods.
The first thing is to watch your calories. So really eliminating all sorts of sugar. Really dropping those carbohydrates down to closer to about 50% of your diet, with primarily all the nutrients coming from fruits and vegetables. About 10% of those can come from more your starchy carbs like your potatoes, your rice, that type of stuff. Then increasing your protein.
Aside from nutrition, proper exercise is crucial.
So aerobic exercise, typically you're looking at about 40 to 45 minutes, 4 to 5 times a week. And then it's really important to do strength training because that's going to really tone up the muscle. More kind of full body workouts because you burn more calories that way.
By changing just a few of your daily regimens and implementing others, that beach bod will be back before you know it. I'm Stefanie Sciolaro for Oswego Now. Colton Page is the men's head captain for the Oswego State crew team that practices on Little Sodus Bay and says his team has been feeling the effects of the flooding.
All of our equipment stays right next to the water, and with this past few pretty much weeks of rain, all of the water has been rising and it's getting close to overflowing and just pretty much wiping out our entire fleet of boats. All of our equipment, some of the houses that are nearby are completely underwater.
The crew team was able to move all of their equipment before the water levels increased, but Colton says if the equipment was left there, they would have lost everything.
All of it would have been swept away, and that's just about a little over $100,000 worth of equipment.
The National Guard will continue to distribute sandbags and assistance to those in need of it. Stefanie Sciolaro reporting. We finally have an explanation for why it's been so cold for so long.
These climate variables. So sometimes it's the North Atlantic Ocean temperatures or Pacific Ocean temperatures, either in the North Pacific or maybe the tropical Pacific. These kind of things can potentially cause prolonged or extended times where you might be colder, wetter, drier, things like that.
But those climate variables are not working alone. There's also something else to blame.
And that's La Nina. So La Nina being you kind of have colder than normal ocean temperatures in the tropical eastern Pacific. So we've been in La Nina throughout pretty much all of winter.
When climate variables and a La Nina combined, they create yet another culprit.
It creates what's called a trough over the eastern part of the U.S. and this trough indicates cold air. So you can kind of get this, semi-permanent thing of blob of cold air that kind of just wedges itself in.
Now, it's hard to tell if this time next year we'll see snow or sunshine.
So we'd be sitting in the 70s. And then the year after, we could to having an April where we're sitting in the 30s.
But decades from now, cold weather in April will be a thing of the past.
April this cold is probably going to be a much more difficult occurrence to happen, or maybe even may become near impossible to happen.
Getting involved is easy. Just walk in.
They come into the room and we show them the board that's against this wall, and they get to see the different kind of messages that other people have been curating. And we say to them, you know, take a message or a quote or a saying that means something to you, and we'll write that message on you, and we'll take the picture for you.
Both faculty and students, including myself, took part in the event. Many people who came also told their personal stories and reasonings behind their quotes, including Alif Kareem.
My quote is, "Don't change to be the change." Growing up, I used to be like the typical kid trying to change myself in order to fit a profile of some sort. You know, just trying to see what's hip, what fits, really adapting myself. But now I understand that you don't really have to do that a lot. You can like be someone who influences others.
But for what reason is this event important today? Why have it now, or really at all?
Well, the campus and really society is facing a time of adversity and confusion and struggle. So what we want to do is we want to take, you know, that unease in the community and bring an event of positivity where we can remind people, you know, physically and, you know, visually that there's reasons to stay positive, there's reasons to come together.